If you are thinking about upgrading your wrist game anytime soon, you need to freeze. Seriously, stop looking at current models and don't even think about pulling the trigger on an Ultra 3. The incoming supply chain reports for the Apple Watch Ultra 4 are turning out to be absolutely wild, and it completely changes the buying strategy for 2026. Look, I get it. We are used to Apple giving us these tiny, incremental spec bumps year after year, while they happily collect their premium Apple tax. A slightly brighter display here, a new casing color there, and a processor change that you can't even notice in daily use. But Cupertino is facing a massive plateau in wearable sales, and the chatter out of Asia indicates they are finally ready to drop a nuclear option on the competition. We are talking about a total hardware rethink that shifts this thing from a bulky piece of diving equipment into a streamlined, sci-fi health powerhouse. Let's start with the physical footprint, because this is where Mark Gurman and Ming-Chi are both pointing their arrows. The Ultra has always been a tank, but let's be honest, it is massive. It snags on jacket sleeves, it feels top-heavy when you are running, and if you have smaller wrists, it looks like you strapped a small smartphone to your arm. According to a new report from DigiTimes, Apple is using a fresh manufacturing process to completely overhaul the chassis. They are moving to a proprietary, next-generation grade of aerospace titanium. The big news here is a rumored 15% reduction in total volume, without losing a single millimeter of that rugged screen real estate. Ross Young over at Display Supply Chain Consultants suggests that by shrinking the internal component stacking and using a thinner display matrix, the watch will sit noticeably flatter on your wrist. It is streamlined rugged. Think about getting the exact same screen size, but the actual casing is thinner, lighter, and far more ergonomic. They are also supposedly introducing a new surface coating that stops those annoying micro-scratches on the bezel. Honestly, I will believe that scratch-resistant part when I see it, because titanium is notorious for showing wear, but a thinner profile alone would make this an instant day-one upgrade for me. What do you think? Is the current Ultra way too bulky for your wrist, or do you actually like the massive size? Drop a comment down below because I am genuinely curious where everyone stands on this. The real magic is happening under the display, and this is where the Korean supply chain publications like the Elic are dropping some fascinating details. We are expecting the jump to the S11 system in package. Now, usually, Apple Watch chips are just rebranded versions of the previous year's silicon with a tiny speed boost. But the S11 is reportedly a massive shift built on TSMC's latest 3nm yields. Instead of just adding raw clock speed, which would cause thermal throttling in such a small enclosure, Apple is dumping almost all the transistor budget into an advanced neural engine. The goal here is complete local processing. Right now, when you ask your watch to do something, it often has to ping your iPhone or bounce a request to the cloud, causing that tiny, annoying lag. The Ultra 4 is being engineered to run massive machine learning models right on your wrist. This means instant Siri responses, real-time navigation mapping without a cellular connection, and instantaneous health diagnostics. Speaking of health, Makoto Kara just corroborated a rumor that Apple is expanding the sensor array significantly. We are looking at impedance-based sensors working alongside the standard optical heart rate tech. The whispers claim Apple is finally introducing non-invasive blood glucose trend monitoring alongside enhanced blood pressure tracking. Now, let's be completely clear here. This is not going to replace a medical-grade finger prick device if you are diabetic, but it is designed to show metabolic trends. It tracks your physiological stress, your fatigue levels, and your body's recovery data over days and weeks, giving you a warning before you crash. But none of this matters if the device dies after a day and a half of heavy use. That brings us to the absolute biggest leak in this entire report, and it comes down to battery architecture. Shrimp Apple Pro has highlighted that Apple is testing a brand new solid-state battery design for the 2026 wearable lineup. Solid ST. 8 has been the holy grail for tech companies because it offers massive energy density without increasing physical size. The current leaks point to a genuine 72-hour battery life on a single charge. And that is not in some stripped-down low-power mode either. That is 72 hours with sleep tracking, constant heart monitoring, and heavy GPS usage active. Imagine taking off for a 3-day weekend trip, leaving your charging puck at home, and never once looking down to see a flashing red battery icon. That completely destroys the competition and eliminates the one major complaint people still have about the Ultra series. Of course, all of this premium hardware means nothing without the ecosystem to back it up. The Ultra 4 is designed to launch right alongside the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the synergy between these two devices is supposed to be tighter than ever. We are moving toward a paradigm where the watch acts as the primary digital anchor, using the phone purely as a background processing engine. It will act as a secure, long-range ultra-wideband key for your vehicle, your smart home, and your workspace, syncing data effortlessly without a single stutter. But we have to talk about the price, because all this next-gen titanium, solid-state battery tech, and clinical sensor arrays will definitely trigger that classic Apple tax. Analysts are already predicting a price bump, potentially pushing the baseline past the usual mark. So, is it worth waiting for, or should you just buy what is on the shelf right now? If you are rocking an original Ultra, or a standard aluminum watch, the sheer leap in battery and design makes the Ultra 4 look like the definitive sweet spot for an upgrade.